Hey, it's rolling. Good morning, everybody. I'm just parched. Take a picture in front of that Mustang uh, for eye candy. But any hoozles, good morning, everybody. My name's Naz. You are watching Nostalgic Trips. It's a video series on YouTube where I walk in mornings about 3 to 5 miles. Sometimes I walk at night as well, but usually in the morning. And I bring my phone and I talk into it. It makes my walk by, pun intended, much quicker. And I get to unload stuff because in these crazy times, it's hard to talk to people, except the ones that we're quarantined with, So, but yeah, all right. So let's move on to the topic of the day, huh? Wow. All right. So today I want to talk about. It's kind of hard to summarize the topic, but it's about collecting. People who are burnt out, collectors who think that maybe they've outgrown what they're collecting, people who are trying to maybe quit collecting, sell their collection, get rid of it, start living the adult life. Pardon the sarcasm. But I've sold my collection maybe at least 5 times over my life. But so I kind of know the feelings involved in it, kind of understand like the logic behind it. So that's what I want to talk about today. If you're thinking about stopping collecting or selling your collection, be it retro video games, vintage toys, new video games, whatever you collect, and you're like sitting there and you're like, man, I think I'm burned out. I think I'm gonna get rid of this stuff and maybe start collecting, I don't know, rabbits. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, stick around if you wanna watch me ramble about this and give you some advice about it and maybe things you can do before you get rid of everything and regret it. That's my main thing about in this video, I guess, is I don't want you to regret it. I don't want you to regret getting rid of your stuff. So let me start talking about it. Oh. Okay, so I'm talking to the guy or lady who is sitting right now watching this because they're trying to watch a video about someone who feels the same way as they do at the moment, where they're maybe sitting in their collection room and they're looking at all their My Little Pony collection or their Amiibo collection or their giant wall of video games that 95% of it they're never gonna play. And you're thinking like, why do I have this? I'm tired of this. As much as I like it or love it, like, I think I'm gonna just sell it. I'd rather have the money, and I don't know, like, these are the thoughts going through your head. You're feeling fatigued, maybe, you're feeling burnt out, maybe of the scene, and you're kind of like thinking you're thinking I'm too old for this shit, which all these are totally understandable thoughts and feelings, and I went through all of those, so I'm going to try to tell you real quick what happened with me. If you want to watch my collecting story and all that, just look at my Nostalgic Trips playlist. I talk about all this in depth for like an hour or more about how I sold collections, how I rebought collections, regretting, not regretting, the pros and cons of it all. So there's definitely pros to getting rid of your collection, and there's definitely cons to it. So so yeah. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the last time I sold my collection, which was last year, 2018 and 2019. So I had a huge collection, not as much video games. I sold those a while ago. The main reason behind that was I no longer cared about having emulators. I was no longer like, I need 20 consoles in my house so I can play all the games the way they're intended to be, which is awesome. And believe me, I still kept my Sega Genesis and my PlayStation original one, and I'm still gonna get my original NES as well back. That's the one I regretted, but I no longer frown upon emulators. Just because if there's games you really love and you want to play, they don't have to be on cartridge unless they have to be on cartridge, you know, like Duck Hunt, you know, so you have to literally use an old television set and the Nintendo console to play it, for example, you know. So, but yeah, that was the main reason why I sold most of my video games, like NES, Super NES, N64, stuff like that. I actually kind of went down. First I got a Retron 5 and got rid of my consoles. And then I was just like, you know what? It's already kind of getting emulated on a Retron 5. I might as well just get like a NES Classic, Sega Classic, you know, mini consoles, and get the stuff emulated. So I'm actually going to have a friend of mine, Eric, he from the flea market. You guys probably don't know him, but those of you that do, anyway, I'm gonna have him upload or download, like I think he said he can do 100 games on my Sega Genesis Mini. So that's awesome. I'm just gonna tell him my favorite games. He's gonna put them on there, and bam, I have a little mini Sega Genesis that I can, you know, still play with the original like controller and be happy. So that's my reason for selling video games. There's nothing wrong with people who have a wall of them. Guys, do it. If you're enjoying it, you love it, you know, keep your passion. It wasn't for me, and I guess my age doesn't really have a thing to do with it, because I'm always a collector. I still have shitloads of toys, and I still have a small video game collection. So, you know, it's everyone has to kind of rationalize things for themselves, is my point. Okay, so my toy collection, I ended up selling, like I said before, in the last 2 years. Now remember, I've sold my collections before, about 4 times before this last time. And my collections have been huge, and there were different reasons. So I'm just kind of focusing on this last one because I'm more grown up, I'm an adult. So these reasons are current for me, you know. And I don't want this video to be 200 hours. So, oh man, it looks cool, but it's really warm right now and humid, so, and I'm going uphill. Anyway, all right guys, so what I'm talking about now is when I got rid of my toy collection. I was basically feeling really burnt out on what brought it on was my YouTube channel, believe it or not. Those of you who are new and haven't heard my previous rant. I got really burned out on going to the same flea market, Columbus Farmers Market, where I've been going to for over a decade. And I've been filming there for almost a decade now. And I got burned out going there every week. And then, you know, I realized that I'm really not hunting for anything because I have everything I want. So my logic was like, damn. Ooh, sidetrack. Hold on. Alright, where was I? So I'm taking pictures of that TV, and that van is just like standing there staring at me. Weird. Alright, so where was I? Oh yeah, so I was getting burnt out on YouTube stuff. I had everything I wanted in my collection, so like going to the flea market only meant, like, you know, just to hang out with my friends, which is mainly why I went. But after a while I was just like, too many vultures, too many scalpers, too many hunters, too many collectors, and too many YouTubers. Like, it really got populated by all of those situations. So, and you know, that kind of led to me looking at my own room and like thinking, like, I have all this stuff here, I love it all, but like, why do I have so much of it? And why do I have, let's say, 5 Nintendo you know, original NES consoles? Like, why do I need to have all 5? So anyway, that's kind of like my mentality. I was like, why do I have, you know, 20 bins of toys in my basement? This is ridiculous. Why is my room completely hoarded up with toys? and things just because I think they're cool. Now, if you're this way, it's cool. I'm not judging you. I was that way most of my life. I still am. I'm still accumulating now. But the reason why I got rid of it was, it's like, man, this used to be my escape, coming into this room with all these toys. But now it's kind of become like almost a burden, because I'll go in there and I'm like, I'm a little overwhelmed by all of this. And then I'm like, well, I don't have enough money right now actually to buy this or this that I need for my computer burnt out, my phone got crushed, like all this stuff actually happened at once. And I was like, damn it, like I'm sitting here with my arms tied behind my back because I spent most of my money on these toys, and my professional life is starting to suffer because my computer, which I use for editing movies, it's what I do, I'm a filmmaker, like all that kind of crashed, and I had to figure out what to do. So don't get me wrong, I was still making money. I have other jobs. I'm not just a flea market guy. I was never like a full-time flea market vendor or anything like that. But anyway, it was time to get rid of stuff, and I was really ready to just like let it go, because like there's way too many things in there. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick little break because I have to go into Target and buy some essentials. And guess what? I'm gonna do a little bit of toy hunting as well. So keep around, or I'm not gonna show it in this video, but if you want to see me toy hunting during this crazy times at Target, just stay tuned to my channel. I'm probably gonna put out what's in my Target video as I buy my essentials, and then go through the toy section because I'm already there. Why not? I'm a toy collector, toy hunter. Still, I'm just not a crazy hoarder of it all. Only things I love and feel nostalgia about. So I don't know why there's an alarm going on, and I don't know what this guy's doing. But anyway, I'll be back to you guys in 1 second, because you're not gonna go in the store with me. I'll be right back, and we'll continue this conversation. Thanks for sticking around, by the way, guys. I hope you're interested in what else I have to say, and my advice for you as far as if you should sell it, or what you should do to where you don't regret anything as far as wanting to cut down or get rid of everything and stuff like that. So alright, stick around. I'll be right back in like 1 second. Just wanted to show you guys, Target opens in about 5 minutes, and there's a line of people wanting to go in, and yep, people are keeping that 6-foot distancing thing. So I guess I'm gonna get into that and see how it goes. Or I'll wait on the side and let them all go in, and then I'll pop in, because this is silly. I wonder if you can see how fogged up my eyes are. This is awful. Oh my god. Okay, got my Target thing done. Hooray! Always unnerving, always weird watching people get the wipes, the Clorox wipes, even though like if you go to Acme down the road, there's like 50 of them on the shelf. But for some reason people love Target. Anyway, enough of that. If you want to see that video of a toy hunt or whatever, just go to my channel. Should be what's in my Target. Anyway, so yeah guys, let's get back to the topic at hand. So basically I told you about, like, some people want to sell, like what reasons, either it's financial or mental or whatever. Like I know quite a few friends that also quit, collecting, and some of them were so done they didn't even care about like trying to make money off of any of it. They just gave it away, donated it to Goodwill, contacted their friends. Like some of them even contacted me. They're like, hey man, I'm getting rid of my like PlayStation 2 or 3 collection, or just video games, not necessarily collection. They're like, you want to just grab this, it's free. So a lot of my stuff I even kind of accumulated that way. Once your friends and family know that you collect things, they usually end up giving you stuff or passing it down. But yeah, so I guess let me get back to the point. I'll just get back to the actual point. my advice for you. So my advice for you is, if you're sitting there thinking that you want to sell stuff, that you want to get rid of things, stop collecting maybe even, whatever it is that you may be like burnt out on. I love seeing people smoking weed in their driveways, in the alleys. Like, people just kind of tend to go into their cars out back and just crazy smokes billowing out their cars. But anyway, that's how people roll. But yeah, my advice, let's get back to that. What I've learned from getting rid of my collections like 5 times over my lifespan is, unless it's for money or family emergency, sell all that shit, take care of your shit. That's my advice to you. But, hold on, quick break. There's always a scrapper. Yeah. Scrappers are like rappers. There's a dime a dozen, and they're all full of shit. I just thought of that because I'm a genius. Like Kanye West. He's a genius. He's Jeebus. Alright. No, he's not. Alright, guys. You've all been waiting for this stupid advice. But in my opinion, it's not stupid. I feel like... Alright, here it goes. Basically, what you want to do is, if you're tired of all that stuff, and it's not an emergency, and you don't need money for bills, and you have enough food on your table, you know, the essential needs, then I would suggest to you, pack it all away, especially the main things. I would pack everything away, your whole collection, whatever you're tired of and thinking of selling it. Put it all away in bins and into boxes. If you can, move it to like the basement or the shed, you know, wherever it's, so it doesn't get ruined or anything. So that it's out of your sight for, leave it there for at least a month. Yeah, like the longer the better. Just leave it, forget about it, move on with your life, do whatever you were thinking of doing. And just see how you feel. Try not to think about it, but if it keeps coming back into your mind, or you're sitting around in your empty room that doesn't have any of those toys in it, you know, and you're thinking about them, then, you know, you still have them down there. So, you know, my point is, don't sell it, don't get rid of it yet. Sit on it for a month. Let it like stew in your soul, let it like go through your head. If after that month, you're like, oh yeah, I have all that crap in the basement or in the attic or whatever, like I totally forgot about it. You know what, I don't want to even look at any of it. I forgot what I even had. Obviously, you can get rid of it and not worry about it. Especially if you've kept it locked away for a month or 2 or 3 months, you know. So yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Obviously, I didn't come up with it, but after getting rid of my stuff and, you know, keeping some things during my last purge, I literally, I put away pretty much my entire collection. I only kept out like things I really love, like my Dragon Zord, my Megazord, some of my like animated Batman series figures, most of my 1/18 scale cars, which I never wanted to get rid of anyway. They're always out. I have no desire to get rid of that. So, you know, about, I would say, you know, I took about 3 months, and finally I was like, you know what, I kind of want to put some stuff back up. And it was right there in my bins. I started going through my bins. I started like getting nostalgic about the things I'm pulling out, some things that I forgot I had, and I was like, oh wow, you know, like making me smile, making me remember stuff. And I'm like, am I glad that this time around I didn't sell it? Because like, trust me, the feeling of regret of some of the things you might sell, like there's some things I sold, Matt, if you're watching, like my Fraggle Rock plushies, for example. I really regret getting rid of those, because like I'm looking at the stuff I put out now and I'm like, man, I wish they were there in the corner like they used to be. They're just so much like, it's just so nice to look at them and be like, oh man, there they are, you know, down in Fraggle Rock. All right, So yeah, guys, I hope this made sense to you all. It makes sense to me. Honestly, like, the feeling of regret is much worse than, you know, that short relief of when you get rid of stuff because you really feel like it's overwhelming you. And even if it does, it's still kind of a crapshoot. Like, just think about yourself as a person. Are you a collector? Have you been collecting your entire life? Do you love the hunt? Do you love looking at them in your room or office or basement or whatever, you know? Analyze all that stuff about you. Like, don't make rash decisions, because regret sucks, man. And then, like, yeah, you can say, like, yeah, but like, now I can go back out on a hunt and find all those things again. The thing is, some things, yeah, you can find them, but some things, like for me, it's nostalgia about it. So like, the longer I have something, and that initial memory of it, of me getting it, like let's say a friend hooked me up with something, or I bought it with friends, you know, or family members, and you know, like, there's feelings and, you know, memories connected to that item. Hey man. So like, all I gotta say is, like, you know, those connections and feelings you have, you can't just replace those with a new thing that nothing's connected to it. Yeah, it's the same thing that came off the same assembly line. It looks the same, you know, but it doesn't have that little smear on the side of its face that you put on there when you and your friends were playing with it when you were 8 years old. You know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Hopefully that all makes sense to you guys, and once again, all I'm saying is, put it away. Don't get rid of it right away. Sit on it for a few months. Don't worry about it. If you were going to get rid of it, you were going to get rid of it anyway. Lock it away, out of sight, out of mind. Don't worry about it. And then get back to it when you do worry about it. And if you have no cares about it, sell it. Get the money. And definitely sell it if your family needs the money, someone's in the hospital, if you need to pay your rent, if you need to get a bag of weed. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Don't sell your toys for drugs. That's the whole point of collecting things. It's a better addiction to have. But yeah, alright guys, that's it for me. I hope my rambling and babbling kept you entertained. I'm gonna continue my crazy walk and finish out my 4 mile for this morning, and trying to stay healthy and not get too poofy puffy during this quarantine situation. Alright guys. Alright, you're all awesome. Thank you for joining me. Stay nostalgic, my friends. Be good to each other, live long and prosper, and take care of each other, man. Remember, things are things. You can use those things, but you know, collect and love your friends and family and people, because in the end, all that crap's gonna go straight to the garbage and turn into dust. So peace and love. See y'all in the next video. Bye.